Hi, I'm HME News Executive Editor Mike Moran, and I'm here today with Jeff Gephart. Jeff is the Vice President of Domestic Sales for DJO Chattanooga, a manufacturer of O&P products. And today we're just going to talk a little bit about the market and some of the challenges and opportunities that there are for providers. And so Jeff, let's start off with what are the challenges that providers today face in the O&P market?
Sure. Two, I would think, very critical areas would be the ability to obtain, operating capital, and also is reimbursement has also become a major issue with a number of the capital equipment items that they would purchase from, us or any other capital equipment manufacturer.
When it comes to capital to purchase equipment, what are the challenges?
Well, with the purchase equipment is basically the ability for the customer to update their fleet on a regular basis to meet the demands of whether referral source or the patients that are really using the product. So I would say that over the years I've seen a trend where people would update their fleet every 1 to 2 years, and it's now being stretched out to 3 or 4 years, with the idea that not just the Chattanooga group, but other manufacturers, is that we've all seen a very actually a downturn in purchasing, and I think a lot of it has to do with people just being very conservative with their cash flow, and then also being able to go get a line of credit either through a leasing company or to their bank. So
they're just having a tougher time getting access to capital.
Absolutely.
How is it? I mean, is it? That's quite. They're making things last longer.
Right. Exactly. And everybody's really concerned about the return on investment. So you have the people that are investing in their their fleet, whether it be CPMs, patient lifts, or whatever it might be that they're using to rent to the patient, and they're saying, okay, well, reimbursement's going down. A well-known insurance company just announced that they're cutting back reimbursement on CPM usage for upper extremities. So that will affect a lot of manufacturers, as well as whether it's an HME, DME, rental company, and it really will affect them in a negative standpoint, because now all of a sudden they either have a fleet that they won't be able to utilize, or from a manufacturer's perspective, is now we have a line of products that it's going to be hard to sell.
Yeah. What is there? Do you see this resolving itself?
We have noticed in the last in third quarter, in Q3 of this year, a little bit of an uptick in purchasing of capital equipment. I don't know if it's pent-up demand, or if people are like something very similar to what happened back in the 90s, when people were very concerned and were like, okay, they would purchase a large amount of equipment back in, let's say, the 80s, early 90s, and then all of a sudden changes in healthcare reform was being discussed, and then all of a sudden people just got scared to death and went into a panic mode and didn't buy anything. So what we're seeing a little bit of that. I see a lot of what happened in the early to mid 90s occurring right now, and so I'm hoping that this little uptick is that either people are getting comfortable with what's going on and saying we need to get back to business, or and it may just be dealing with an uptick in demand, okay, or dealing with a pent-up demand, or it could very easily be things are getting better. The economy's turning around a little bit. People are understanding, okay, the world's not coming to an end, so let's go ahead and get back to business as normal.
What kind of opportunities are there in this market?
Well, that's a very good question. We're seeing that people are getting into different areas on a much smaller scale than they used to, whether on rental of equipment. Whereas maybe 4, 5, 6 years ago, someone would invest in a very large fleet, whether it was CPMs, patient lifts. We're not in the bed rental business, but I know people would buy large fleets or products to enhance their fleet. But I think there's an opportunity for small players who are well capitalized, have good cash flow, to continue, because there's still going to be a need as the baby boomers get older. There is going to be a need for the products, But right now, I think everybody's kind of in a holding pattern. You don't see a lot of expansion going on right now.
What's the scope of the products that you offer when it comes to in this particular market for home care?
In this particular market, CPMs are our biggest player. We're much smaller player in patient lifts and in compression units, but our core competency primarily is in clinical electrotherapy and things like that for the hospital market.
That's right.
Okay.
So for the home care, patient lifts, CPM machines, and compression therapy.
Exactly, and we do have a lot of retail hot and cold products as well.
How are those doing?
Those are doing fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are just, for 60 years, they've just been very steady products, because they're a cash item, reimbursement's not an issue, because somebody walks in and either they need it or they don't.
They got a sore knee, weekend warrior type stuff?
Absolutely.
Yeah, good
Absolutely.
cash item.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
All right, Jeff. Well, hey, thanks a lot. That was interesting.
Okay, thank
All right.
you.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.